I dented my car. I hope my wife isn't watching this. And my first impulse was, oh God, come on, why did you do this? Why weren't you more careful? It happened. And now is not the time to be critical of yourself, to blame yourself, to judge yourself. You have done enough of that for a couple of lifetimes. That is not the moment. Now is the time to show compassion towards yourself. Every mistake you make is a chance to love yourself, to embrace yourself. Because you're gonna screw up. You're gonna spill a coffee, you're gonna lose your keys, you're gonna dent your car. You're gonna do something sooner or later. It is inevitable. It's life. You're just living life. But you're judging yourself for it. The first response is usually, why did I do this? I'm such an idiot. Even be compassionate to that voice, because that voice is not you. That is your parents, your teachers, hundreds of generations of conditioning, of self loathing. And you can see it in everyone around you, and you carry it with you, don't you? But it's not yours. And if you want to heal yourself, your children, future generations, be kind to yourself. Because the first reaction is the conditioning. It's this mass consciousness of how everyone treats themselves. We've been doing this stuff for thousands of years. I could stop with you. Notice that and say, no, now is a chance to be kind to myself. Whenever I make a mistake, that is when I can show myself love. It's an opportunity to embrace myself. It's an opportunity to accept and love and embrace who I am. Because all you're doing is you're living. You're just living life. And stuff like that happens. That's okay. We've just been taught from a very early age that we need to reject ourselves in those situations. No, that's the situation you need your love and compassion the most. And these situations are reminders. This is a reminder to show myself some love and compassion. Because that's not the first reaction, is it? The first reaction is, oh God, why did I say that? Oh, I'm such an idiot. I always say the wrong things at the wrong time. Then, that is your conditioning talking. That is how someone else has taught you to treat yourself. That first voice is just your conditioning. Then you have a choice. Now is a chance to be kind. Even if you beat up on yourself for a little bit, fine. And then you notice, I could use this as a chance to be kindness. In that moment, you've woken up. In that moment, you've woken up from your conditioning. And when you notice, that's a victory. Don't blame yourself for beating yourself up. Praise yourself for noticing, because the act of noticing breaks the chain. The act of noticing breaks hundreds of years of conditioning. You've done a great job. The fact that you notice that you're critical of yourself is great. It's wonderful, because most people don't even notice. That's just a constant stream of thoughts in their heads that never stops. But if you can take a step back and realize what's happening, that moment you've escaped. That moment you're free to make a new choice. And I'm giving you an option. The option is, in this moment, you need your love and kindness the most. Commercial break, sponsored by myself. If you want to wake up happier, get your free messages from life. Think of it as your almighty penpal, sending you daily encouragement. It's free, and you can sign up below. Thanks so much. You only have the choice when you step out of the conditioning, because the conditioning tells you now is not the time to be kind to yourself. Now is the time to be harsh on yourself, so you will learn. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, fun. Hey, we had the same conditioning. And your neighbor has as well, your friends, your spouse. We all run around with the same programs. It's not personal. Isn't that great? Isn't that liberating? That the voice in your head is not really you? It's just a program that everyone else runs around with. They just have it in their own language and in their own tone, but it's the same thoughts. The same thoughts. And isn't it cool? You spill something, you mess up. That's a chance to wake up. Because whenever you hear that voice, be excited. Oh, there's that voice again. But I notice it. And when you notice, you've already broken the spell. You've broken the spell of century old conditioning. How great are you? Notice it. And now that you've noticed, you can make a new choice. And sometimes self love is being loving to that voice. That voice that tells you, you suck, I hate you, you screwed up again. Sometimes self love is being loving to that voice. That's okay. That's how you learn to treat yourself. That's the voice that raised you. That's what you had to do in order to survive. That's conditioning that's in your head. But be kind and be compassionate towards it. And when you embrace it, it doesn't sting any longer. It can't hurt you. That is true self love. Loving all these aspects, and you will realize that voice will become kinder. And you won't take it personally. And you realize even listening to that voice is a victory. Because if you're listening to it and you're aware of it, it means you've stepped out and you're free to make a new choice. What are you going to do with that choice? Wait, before you go, I gave you free will, so I can't force you. But I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button and that little bell. And thank you for watching. And thank you for being here on planet Earth. It's a lot more fun with you around.